by this kind of a, if you're envious about that, then you're envious about doing better, doing good. They say, I've heard it, that some natives in the west coast of Canada, they were competing, showing jealousy on who gives more gifts. All the better, you know, if it's about giving. But jealousy is not getting solved. Let's keep doing. It's going to seclude the person from the society. Baha'u'llah clearly says this person will lose his or her liver. Jealousy will destroy your liver. It is a software issue, but it's so strong that can destroy the hardware. It's penetrating, it's deep, it's bad. It's one of those things Baha'u'llah says, if you are envious and jealous, you cannot go to the kingdom of God. It is impossible. So it's the huge disease, you know. How would you be able to deal with it? It's very amazing. In the Baha'i faith, we have so many stories of this, of the jealousy. One of these big jealous of all times, you heard of him, is the stepbrother of Baha'u'llah. He was 13 years younger. And Baha'u'llah says, like a father almost. I taught him even how to read and write. Everything I did for this guy. But jealousy was in him. He just wanted to be Baha'u'llah, didn't know how. He took Baha'u'llah in a wrong way. He said, I want to be in control of people and all that, and it destroyed his life. I do not think in the Persian literature, ever since its inceptions, has anyone has written anything more ridiculous than this guy. He's the most ridiculous writers. Not in a sense that you think he's cracking at jokes or something. No. No, no, no. He's trying to admire God or pray God, but his writings is beyond understanding. I cannot understand it. Why would he do that? The time he starts to write, he's just incriminating himself. He is putting totally the stamp of a stupidity on himself in such a way that many believers and followers of the Bab, they were totally disappointed to find out that he was the successor of the Bab as he claimed, but he wasn't. Bab clearly tells him that, do not alter anything. Do not alter and change my writing. He says that. None of the people at the time could think, why would Bab say to him such a thing? Because Bab knew he's going to do it. No one has received any such advice and warning as him not to alter the writing, except him, because he was going to change and alter the writing of the Bab. And on a letter that I wrote to Kavian Sadiqzadeh, I explained this man had actually done it on the transcribing one of the writing of the Bab for sake of money to Edward G. Brown, the guy, the Orientalist, who himself was suffering from a stupidity, and he transcribed the letter to him. And instead of following the writing, because in transcription you have to exactly follow, you know, the copy with copy, word with word, dots with dots. But he just omits big part of it and he just says, etc., etc. He just didn't want to do it. And then he calls himself the successor. The other one of this seriously jealous guy was the stepbrother of Abdul-Baha. The jealousy was killing this man. He was the actual secretary of Baha'ullah. He had a station at Baha'ullah. He was writing. And Baha'ullah said clearly that my, the eldest son, the greatest branch is Abdul Baha, is the one in charge. And if for some strange reason, if he dies and he's not around, you may then go to this younger brother. But the younger brother was awaiting when would Abdul Baha die so people can follow me. And he made few attempts to do all kind of things, to put Abdul Baha in jails again and all that. And some guy, I heard, that he goes talks to Abdul Baha and then he goes back to him and talks to him too. And he was talking to some Baha'i that I don't understand why these two brothers are fighting. I was just with a younger brother. His name is Qosna Akbar. And he says that I have no money for my children, we're all starving, and my older brother doesn't even give us any money, even this and that. The guy says, excuse me? I just gave him a draft on behalf of Abdul Baha a couple days ago. This man is a liar. But I mean, jealousy takes the person to seriously. Ooh, these are the two jealouses, and the jealous people in the history. One the stepbrother of Abdul Baha, ironically the other one the stepbrother of his father, that's Baha'ullah's the stepbrother. But then there were others, This is a matter of comparison, this jealousy comes that. The guys they see Shobi Effendi as a young man, they grew up with him, they thought he's just one of them. So when he becomes the guardian of the faith of God, everyone has to obey him. When this guy comes and says that, why should I obey him? I know him. Being too close, they misread the point. They didn't see it. Anyways, that's the jealousy I spoke about. I want to talk about arrogance too. Arrogance is a problem. Huge one too. So, I've written in my note, an arrogant man is like the person whose sinuses are plugged. Most of the time they use words, to say they're the bigger, they're the better, and this and that. They see everybody no good. And the reasons, most of the time, is because the guy is different color, or different race, different culture. They see people of different creeds that are different from him. They see them as lower, especially if his kind has majority. And this is not excluded to the white people. I've seen Indians, they use this kind of a system and their majority are there. They used to call untouchables, and Gandhi had to call them Harijans because they were black, and these big Shaktis and the Brahmins and white collar Indians, they would bring them down, put them down. It's everywhere. And Rwanda, how many people in the country they killed each other because they thought those creeds were lower creeds. These attacks of feeling you're better or these things, essentially we call it, racism. But it's everywhere. One of my suggestions is that to the arrogant people, of whatever class you're, especially if you're a big guy, please go read the Baha'i history. Please. This is your prescriptions. Read to see how many great individuals, money-wise, fame-wise, family, knowledge, publications. They were huge people. How many of them? They sacrificed their life for the truth. Read them. Read them. There's 20,000 of them. They might give you a lesson. not to be arrogant about whoever you are, whatever you do. The Baha'i history is a solution to those who are arrogant. Read it. You know, it's very, very helpful. Because that makes you humble. Everyone becomes humble. What happens to them and how they defend the truth. So, and arrogance, as I said, it comes from comparison with people, and you see yourself you're higher and better, your number is bigger, or this, you're smarter. And that's your downfall. So, you got to leave arrogant people to themselves. They carry the weapon of self-destruction. It's their tongue and it's their attitude.